Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're deep diving into the intricacies of VA loans, especially focusing on the different scenarios involving co-borrowers. So if you're a veteran considering buying a home with a co-borrower, this video is packed with essential information that you need to know in order to make the best decisions. So let's get started. Before we delve into specifics, let's take a moment to understand what VA financing is all about. So VA loans are a fantastic earned benefit offered to veterans and active duty service members that provide options for low to no down payment mortgage loans. However, when it comes to co-borrowers, the rules can be a bit different. So let's explore some of these most common scenarios that I run into. The most common situation I run into is when a veteran borrower and co-borrower are married. So in these situations, we can use both borrowers' debts, incomes, and credit scores. So we do this all day, every day, super common. The next most common situation is when we have people that are engaged but not yet married. So in these situations, the VA classifies that as a joint loan. And this is a big distinction because joint loans have a down payment requirement because the VA is only covering the veteran's portion of entitlement. And then additionally, the VA requires what's called prior approval. So what that means is when the loan gets to the very, very end of the process, right before closing, the lender has to ship that loan off to the VA for them to bless the file. So it adds time and a little bit of a last second hurdle to get over to close on the purchase. Okay, so if you're engaged but not married, it's a VA joint loan. Now, I have had some clients that have chosen to go to the Justice of the Peace to get a shotgun wedding so that they avoid the down payment requirement. I'm not giving marriage advice. Don't do that unless you are comfortable in your relationship. But at the end of the day, if you are not legally married but just engaged, there is going to be a down payment requirement. So the next most common situation that I run into is when the co-borrower is not someone that you're married to. So you've got the veteran borrower and you've got some other random third person over here that you're not married to. So that is also considered a joint loan. So same thing applies. There's going to be a down payment requirement and the VA require prior approval before closing. Now here's where it gets a little bit dicey. If you are in a community property state and that co-borrower is legally married to someone else, the mortgage lender is going to have to pull the credit of the non-borrowing spouse of that co-borrower and use their debts into the overall debt to income ratio. So if you're in a non-community property state, that's not a concern. In a community property state though, if that co-borrower is married, the lender is going to have to pull credit on the non-borrowing spouse and include their debts in qualifying. Now, what happens if you are two veterans buying a home, married or not? In that situation, the VA does not classify that as a joint loan and therefore doesn't have a down payment requirement and does not have VA prior approval rules. So this is very, very common as well. In this situation, which veteran's entitlement gets used, it can be one or the other or both, aka split entitlement. It just kind of depends, okay? The last and least common co-borrower situation is when you have a surviving spouse. So if you're a surviving spouse, you might be eligible for a VA home loan. It's not guaranteed, but you might be eligible for a VA home loan. And if you have a co-borrower, that does come up from time to time. So that is a much more nuanced conversation about what ifs. So just in general, if any of these situations apply to you or you have questions about them, reach out. My team and I would be honored to help walk you through it. As we wrap up, remember that understanding these rules and nuances can significantly impact your home buying journey. It's always best to consult with a knowledgeable lender to guide you through the process. So thank you for sticking with me through this detailed walkthrough of VA co-borrowing rules. If you have any questions or need further guidance, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm here to ensure that you win with Wade. Remember, making informed decisions is the key to a successful home buying experience. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful content. Until next time, take care and happy home buying.